when I knew I was going to be a father, I had, not saying I was right, but I had the very clear vision in my mind what I wanted to teach him. And I wanted to do it early and get certain things ingrained in him. The last chapter of my second book is a letter to my son. That's kind of the summary of all things of what I believe what being a man is all about.
Yeah.
And this may sound a little bit morbid, but I wrote that because in the event that God takes me home earlier than expected, ahead of schedule, that I could teach my son from the grave.
Yeah.
So, that being said,
Gosh, you're good.
Before he's even
everything
born,
is thought out in advance. Yeah.
It's not right.
Before he was born, you had this?
I was writing it as my wife was pregnant.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
My type A is like lowercase A.
No,
I'm a lowercase A.
No, that's always
I love
right.
the foresight. No, I love it.
At least there's intent, right?
Yeah, I had the right heart.
Yeah. So, at a really early age, I would have these conversations with my son about like money, like what it takes to make a certain amount of money to be able to buy this thing, this toy, this meal, even, these fortunate living accommodations that we enjoy. When my son was 4, I sat on the board of a nonprofit foundation that funds orphanages in Mexico called Corazon de Vida. And so when my son was 4, we took him down to visit one of these orphanages. Now imagine kid's 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
What's an orphanage?
Yeah.
So I'm explaining to him, like, son, these kids don't have a mama and papa. He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they don't have a mama and papa at home. Well, why not? I'm like, oh God. This is going to get deep now, right?
Yeah.
Because some of their mom and papas didn't love them and they left them on the street and they had to, and my son's like trying to process all this stuff. And I'm thinking in my mind, is that too much for a 4-year-old to take on?
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did it. So we're there and he's playing with the kids and he doesn't understand haves and have-nots. They're just all kids, right? So he's playing with his friends at the orphanage.
Yeah.
At the end, friends. Yeah. At the end of the evening, he starts to gather up all his things, and he's got some Legos and stuff, so he starts putting his Legos back in his Ziploc bag. And there's this one special needs kid that has his favorite Lego piece. And my son, he's 4, right? He comes to me and says, Papa, that boy over there has my favorite Lego piece. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Look.
How are you going to finagle this situation? Yeah.
I go, son, you're going to have to let that kid just have that Lego piece, man. Just give it to him as a gift.
We'll get you a new one.
Yeah, he starts welling up with tears. And
it's
4,
tough.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I reiterate, like, these kids don't have a mom and pop. They don't have Legos. They don't have the things that you have. Sometimes they don't have food.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason
I don't care about the Lego. Yeah.
No, but he was. My son was like Yoda reincarnated. Like, he's a really wise soul, And he's like, okay. I'm like, that's it? Okay.
I get it.
All right. So he turns around, starts walking away, takes 5 steps, turns right around, comes back to me and goes, Papa, can I give that boy all my Legos? I know. I'm like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Runs over the kids, calls all the kids, and spreads out the Legos. It was the most pure act of giving, right? The joyfulness of an untainted heart giving.
Pure and unselfish.
Pure and unselfish. And I think giving him experiences like that at a really young age, he views the world through a different lens.
Yeah.
So for his 8th birthday, I can't believe you went for this either. I said, hey, you're turning 8. What do you think of this deal? Mama and Papa will buy you 8 gifts, and instead of having your friends bring you gifts, let's have them donate toys and supplies and toilet paper and toothbrushes and money to one of the orphanages, and then we'll drive down to Mexico and we'll deliver all the supplies to the orphanage. Yeah. And I'm thinking, this kid ain't gonna go for this.
Yeah. I'm not getting the Xbox.
Because I wouldn't go over that at 8 years old. Hell no.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. So we threw this big party at the house, and we have fantastic friends, and we raised a little over $4,000, and all these supplies on top of that. We took him down there, and you have an 8-year-old that's fired up about delivering these supplies to the orphanage, and as all the kids are playing, water balloon fights and everything, my son has a mop, and he's going around and cleaning up behind the kids.